And today's Tacomaholic video is sponsored by the Hunting Brothers. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian. And of course, Will. That's Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, Brian, and Will. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Tacomaholic channel. I hope you had a Merry Christmas yesterday. So today I've got a ton of stuff to go over with the truck, but today it's going to be a rather quick video because in addition to several large bags of coal, I was, I guess, a little nice this year, so I got some cool loot for the Tacoma that I'll go over today and share with you guys. But before we get into all that cool stuff, comment below, let me know what was the coolest thing you got for your Tacoma down in the comments below. Alright, first on the list is the quintessential 42-inch Plano box, which is of course originally used to like store your guns and transport them and stuff. But you see this item all the time on Tacomas. I feel like this is one of a few things, I can think of the Trasharoo as another one, where you know you've really arrived with your truck build when you get a Plano case mounted on it. I'm curious to see how waterproof this thing is, so I'm going to do a test with that before I really store anything. You know, not like I'm going to be putting valuable stuff in here, just straps, off-road recovery gear, stuff like that. It does have a few keys over here that you can lock it, and I guess you can put additional padlocks on it. I am really curious to see how waterproof these are, because I don't know if you guys saw the video I did when I got my Rotopacks last year, linked right up there. Not really waterproof at all, so I had to go through quite a bit, put weather stripping on there to make that safe for storing stuff in there. Hopefully the Plano case will be a little better, and I am going to mount this in the position that it's in. I'm not going to have it like, you know, vertical or anything like that. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to remove my recovery boards right up there, try to make some kind of mount and put them against the cab of my truck going perpendicular to the truck, and then get the Plano case mounted up there on my rack. You can see I've got these two metal pieces right here that you can adjust based on all the slats in there, if you can see those on camera. So I might, that size right there might work. So I'm going to get that mounted up, get it secured. Really excited about that. And then of course, as I get some cool stickers going, I might have to decorate this up here, but I do like the logo, that's pretty cool. And this is of course what the inside of the Plano box looks like. You can see, like I mentioned, ideally just for, you know, storing guns and stuff. It looks like these are actually just a bunch of like smaller squares, so if you were keeping a gun in here or something, you could sort of mold it to securely hold the gun so it's not moving around. I'm going to leave most of the foam in here because as I fill this up, you can, like I said, you can see these are all sort of, they tear away. So if I just have a few things to put in here at first, I might just, you know, put them right there in the middle. There's the key I was talking about, just so stuff's not clanging around, and then as it gets more and more full, just sort of remove some of the foam and keep it for a later date. And then of course it's got the foam on the top, sort of like a egg crate style, just to keep everything nice and secure. So that is the first item on the list. As usual, if you guys are interested in this or anything else I'm going over today, links down in the description below. Next cool item I got for this Christmas is one of these OBD2 OBD Decode Readers. So this is one of the scanners you plug directly into your OBD2 port. If you're getting a check engine light or throwing any codes, this will tell you what's going on so you can address the issue accordingly. No, I'm not throwing any codes. Truck's running perfectly fine right now. Hope I didn't just jinx it, but it's always good to have one of these. This is the Ansel one, and like I mentioned, it does plug right in. If you guys remember, I already have a right angle splitter on my OBD2 port. Go ahead and show that to you real quick. Everything's dark, but it is, the splitter actually just plugs in, and just like a splitter for everything else. So now I have two ports coming out of the one port. So I have something else I'm going to talk about in just a second that will be plugged into one of these. So if I need to scan the truck after I plug that item in, I already have a port open ready to go. I will probably give this item a dedicated video in the near future, just sort of going over the features, how easy it is to use, you know, the input, all that stuff, and then give my general review of it. So stay tuned for that. Next up, I got a pair of Midland Walkie Talkies. Now, on the website, these say they're good for up to 30 miles of range, and I would assume that's, you know, perfectly flat terrain, no mountains at all, but these are good to have on the trail because even though I have a CB radio, sometimes I go off-roading with my brother. He doesn't have a radio or anything, so I can give him one. I can hold onto the other one. We can communicate that way, so you're not, you know, rolling down the window, having to stop, scream, just behaving like a fool in general. It'll make communicating on the trail super easy. I'm sure you guys have run into that, you know, where a lot of people have CBs, but one person doesn't. So, of course, always good to have these charged, ready to go, just in case you're having CB issues in general. I might give these a separate video in the future also, sort of testing them out, giving a product review, but I sort of played around with them yesterday. They're pretty cool. They do come with a charging station where you can charge both at the same time. And it didn't really take long to charge at all, so that's kind of cool. It is just a regular plug, so if you want to bring that on the trail, you could use like your bed outlet plug to charge those. And the clarity, from what I heard, was pretty good. Of course, that's going to diminish, you know, as you get farther apart as you're talking, but pretty easy to use, so excited about these. And of course, you see they have the clips on the back, so you can like put them on your collar and act like a real pro. And speaking of communications, I got this basic PA speaker because the CB I am running actually has a port where you can plug something like this right on, flip the switch on the CB to PA, and you can use the microphone on your CB and the speaker for this PA to actually speak out loud. No amplifier needed, and I tested it out already. It's pretty loud. You can always add an amp later if you want to get really crazy, but this should be a lot of fun in traffic when people are on their phone, and I don't really feel like just honking at them and scaring them. It'll be fun to use this just to sort of mess with them, but definitely going to do a separate video for this showing the install, but really, like I said, it just plugs right in, so all I really have to do is hide the wire, figure out where I'm going to mount it. This is exterior safe, so everything's waterproof. The bolt right there that sort of ties down the mount, I might replace that with a stainless one because I think that's just black anodized. So probably replace that with stainless steel hardware. Not really sure where I'm going to mount it, to be honest. I was thinking I could maybe tuck it up in one of the corners of my bed rack. I know a lot of people sort of mount them under their hoods. That's also an option, but I have some other things in the future like a ARB air compressor that I want to mount under the hood, so just sort of need to figure out where will be easiest for now and where I have space in the future, but install video for this definitely coming soon. Next item is a pair of the Morimoto. These are called Mod Pods, and these are fun little LED lights. And when I say little, I mean little. I mean, here's one right here you can see. It's supposed to light up. I'm not sure if you're going to see it on camera, but there's like an exterior ring of like smaller circles and then the main LED in the center. So these will be a fun light. Not sure if I'm going to mount these like maybe on the rack, sort of pointed backwards, or somewhere else on my truck, but these should be a pretty fun install. Definitely video coming for these. Here's the associated packaging, and you can see it comes with a few mounts. This is like a flat mount, so they're pretty versatile. Curious to see what kind of a light output they put, but you guys know Morimoto, they usually make great things. This is actually my first Morimoto product on the truck. I know the fog lights are pretty popular, don't have any of those yet, but you guys know me, that might be coming in the future, so can't wait to get these installed. See what they look like on the back real quick. It does say Cree LED switchbacks. Maybe you could use them for turn signals. The light color is 5500K, which should be usually here 5000 Ks like pure white and 6000 Ks white with a tint of blue. So this should be about halfway in between there. So still pretty white. And then they are IP67 rated, so they're perfectly safe for exterior use. Next up, and some of you probably think I'm crazy for getting this, but I do have one of the heavy-duty tech decks with two of the mounting ram balls, and I think the heavy duty, it gets this aluminum brace that sort of goes behind your dash, giving this a lot more support, like cross support. So why I mentioned some of you think I might be crazy for getting this is because I did just install the 2 T-pan mount, which does a very similar thing, but I'm going to definitely do a separate video for this showing you guys how having both of these can certainly be beneficial. The plan actually for this one, and let me show you where this goes in the truck. So obviously you can see the 2 T-pan right there on top, the tech deck, and you do have to like remove all the stuff right here in the middle. The tech deck sort of tucks away right in there, and what I'm going to use for mine, yes, you can mount, you know, cell phones for your GPS and everything else on here, but of course, if you do that, you're either going to be looking down, which is definitely dangerous, or you're going to have like a super long arm to bring your cell phone up, as you can see where I have mine mounted right here, which I don't really like that idea. So what I'm probably going to do is get some kind of like small iPad or something and use this just for like trail maps and stuff, because once the tech deck is in there, I could put it on a small, like one of the ram mount. They make these larger X grips just like this, but more for tablets. You know, maybe get a small 6 or 8 inch screen and have it just about right here that'll only run off road, where again, yes, you are looking down, but since I'll be off-roading, I'll, you know, just be going a few miles an hour, nothing crazy like your highway speeds. So that's the plan for that. I'll get this installed very soon. And next up, this little buddy is the popular Ultra Gauge. What this does, you can check like your oil temperature, transmission temperature, all kinds of useful features on your truck. And like I mentioned earlier, you can see right here, plugs directly into your OBD2 port. So all you really need to do is hide the wire, Most people mount these on top of their steering wheel or maybe in the center of their dash. I'm not really sure where I'm going to mount mine. You can see it does come with this mount. I guess if you want to put it on the windshield, it just sort of slides behind there. But I probably won't use the windshield mount just because I have plenty of options. So I might try to fashion something and get it mounted right here. This is where I had my cell phone. So I'm thinking there, maybe a smaller mount just to sort of get it out of the way. But I think I've also seen like mounts they had that go like on the steering wheel right here, so you can just have it right there. That'd be pretty ideal, sort of tucked out of the way. I'm pretty sure I don't want to put it over here on the center of this because I have other gadgets coming for that in the future. Really excited to get the Ultra Gauge installed. I'll probably do an install video for that and then a general review showing you how to use it. And the last little bit of loot I hauled in this year for my good behavior, I got 2 sets of tools. First off, we have the MATCC, that's the manufacturer. This is a genuine Spanish Inquisition torture set.
No one expects a Spanish Inquisition.
I mean, trim removal set. Look at this thing. This has all kinds of things. I don't even know what some of them do, but I'm sure I'll use them in the near future. Since it always seems like lately I'm tearing apart my dash and installing stuff, so can't wait to sort of see what some of these things do. Look at these. I don't know what these are, but a few tools. These are also for removing like some of those plastic tabs that are sometimes a pain. I'll show you how to do those. Pretty cool stuff. And you know, your usual plastic pry bars, because you never want to use screwdrivers and stuff on plastic trim pieces because it's easy to scratch them, so this should be safe for that. And it comes in a nice carrying case. You can see it reminds me of one of those Case Logic CD cases from the early to late 90s. If some of you don't know what those are, well, consider yourself lucky. Next up, we have the metric socket set. This goes from 8mm all the way up to 19 in 1mm increments. Can't wait to use these. So these are ratchets, a ratchet set I should have said, but the best part, they are the flex head. You can see it goes all the way over. And again, this one does come with a cool case. You can see with the Velcro, you just sort of slap it down and it just sort of rolls up. Convenient to use. And it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but you can see with the Velcro, it just sort of rolls over and secure it like that. And it's good to go. All right, wow, I feel like that video stretched on just for a little longer than intended. I guess I got more cooler stuff than I thought this year, so comment below, let me know what cool items you got for your truck this year, but also which of these items that I went over today that you like the best, and which one you want to see featured in its own install or review video first. Like I mentioned earlier, links for all of these things down in the video description below. Thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching this video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.